are you? Feel free to write us back if you're getting this via email and just saying how you're doing. We really do miss you. And same with any social media posts. Go ahead and write something below. It's so fun for us to see that you're following or doing these stretches. Today we're going to dive into the hips. So it's week 3 of the sequence of 4. And then again, we'll be putting it all together so you have a more fluid head to toe stretch routine. You might like just, focusing on a certain body part and having those 15-minute intervals. Great. Any way you like, please just stretch. We really, really appreciate it. Today, the only thing you'll need is one block or one pillow just for one of the stretches. So have that handy. A pillow will work perfect for this. And we'll set that aside. That's towards the end. We're going to start on our backs. And go ahead and just pull your knees into your chest. Just settle in, take a couple of breaths here. Check in how your low back feels. And then pull your abs in and notice if that helps your low back. Just play around with that for a moment. And then place your feet down on the mat and just begin to rock your knees side to side like a windshield wiper. Just opening up your hips here. See how they're feeling today. Are they giving you this stretch, or are they pulling and rocking you up because your low back and hips are tight? Just kind of easing into that feeling. You can stay to one side a little bit longer. Whatever feels good, check in with your body. This is the time you're connecting with your own body. All right, and then come back up to center. Place your feet on the ground and walk your heels up closer to your butt. We're gonna do bridge pose here, and this is actually gonna be our warm-up for our hips, so really stay engaged in this and do it 100% so that you get nice and warmed up and get blood flow into your hips for our stretches. So press into your hands and feet and lift your hips up off the ground. Hold your belly really tight, firing it up, and it protects your low back. And then squeeze your glutes for this. That doesn't always happen in bridge pose. It depends what the intention behind the pose is. And right now we want to really squeeze so that we're getting blood flow into our hips. And then when you're ready to come down, pull your abs in really tight and notch by notch lower down using your ab muscles. Okay, and just rock side to side, release that low back. Hands by your side, press into your feet and hands equally, lift up your hips. You can clasp hands and rock so that your shoulders open. Again, pull your belly in tight, squeeze your glutes, keep actively pressing into the floor and keep your knees only hip distance apart. Don't let them splay out. Lift a little bit higher. And then release your hands, and again, with your belly, roll down, notch by notch. And then go ahead and pull your knees back into your chest. And you can rock side to side, or you can make little circles with your knee, whatever feels best for you. And then come and roll over onto one side, press your hand into the floor to get yourself up seated. Cross your legs. If that towel helped you before, just to not dump into your low back, you can go ahead and put that underneath your hips. I know I told you you only need one prop, but that should be a staple if that works for you. It's a really good one for your low back. All right, so place your hands on your knees. We're gonna do cat-cow but seated. So it's the same thing for our spine, just sitting up. So you're gonna pull onto your knees and draw your heart through your chest. And then exhale, pull your belly in and curl forward like you were holding onto a beach ball in front of you. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Exhale and curl. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Where are you feeling this in your back? Where do you feel like it needs a little more breath? Just notice. It's so much of stretching is just noticing the imbalances on either side of our bodies, because that's how we are. We are not completely symmetrical on either side. pro athletes are. So I'm guessing most of us aren't. All right, again, we're gonna hold on to our knees. Our inhale is gonna bring us forward. We're gonna make a circle. So we're gonna inhale and come as far forward as you can. And then right when you get to your left knee, pull your belly in and go as far back as you can, making a circle. And then when you get to your right knee, come forward, inhale. Exhale, hollow out your belly. You're really getting your low abs fired up in this. Your abs should be controlling the whole entire movement. When you get over to your right knee, pause, and then pull your belly in, exhale, and come back, reversing the direction. Two more. Keep with your breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Come back to center. All right, place your feet on the ground, your hands behind you. That your fingers can be away or they can be towards you, whatever's more comfortable for you. Cross over your right leg over your thigh and flex your foot. And then draw your left leg in closer to you. You should already feel a nice stretch right here along the hamstring and the lower glutes. Flex your foot and be active in your left foot. And just bring your chest closer to your leg to get a deeper stretch. This can be done on a chair even. You can kind of find any piece of furniture that works for you. It would need to be a little higher than this, but something like the couch here, you can just come across your leg, flex your foot, and if it's not enough, you can start to fold forward. So there's a lot of creative ways to do this. If your knee bothers you or it's just not comfortable sitting, go ahead and play around with that. And release your foot, place onto the earth, and then cross over your left. And let's go to the other side. Flex your foot and walk your hips closer to your heel. You should feel that all along the left hip. Make sure your shoulders, you're not sinking in, so you're really pushing the floor away. Deep breaths here. Just connect with your hip. What's it feeling like today? Is it resisting you? Or can you just breathe and let it relax? Are different parts of your body tensed up from this? Just do a scan of your whole body and see where you can relax. And then go ahead and release. I'm going to show you the next pose, and if it doesn't work for you, you can come back to this one and do each side again. Really great stretch. You could do that 5 times in a day and still find benefits within. So we're going to do pigeon pose, but we're going to do it a little bit different. So go ahead and listen to the cues here. So step your right foot back, and your left foot, just draw your heel in towards your thigh. We're not going to go the full, even with your mat type thing. We're not super warmed up here, but this will be a good way to get into the pose. So go ahead and bring your heel in towards your groin. Look back behind you that your leg is completely extended, and you want your toes to even line up with your leg. Make sure your ankle isn't sickling out. And then we love to just fold right into, pigeon pose, I love it. But what I would love for you to do is put your hands on either sides of your hips. And when I do that, I feel, because we sink over to the left if our body is this way naturally. And so if I press into the earth, it angles and makes my hips straight forward. And that gets deeper into the hip flexors and the psoas, which is this is almost a back bend before you're laying down in pigeon. So go ahead and stay here for a moment. Pull your belly in. You might feel an even deeper stretch in your hip. And just take 3 breaths right here. And then when you're nice and settled here, bring your hands in front of you and you can begin to walk your hands out. Nice straight back. So you don't want to be hunched over. And then draw your leg is still activated. So go ahead and point your toes and get some activation in that back leg. And then walk your hands out. You can stay here on forearms. You can be up higher. You can use your block or pillow, and you can place your forehead on it as long as your back is nice and straight. Cross your arms or fold all the way down to the earth. Watch that you're not rolling onto your left side, and try to stay nice and in the center. Keep pressing your chest towards the earth. That will remove that hump in the middle of the back that we want to be straight. And keep extending through your right leg and toes. You should feel all on your left hip. Nice stretch. This is great for piriformis. A lot of us get that piriformis syndrome, which is like sciatica. It's the same area, it's the same nerve that's affected, but this is from the muscle being tight instead of a disc issue. But it's still the same thing with the nerve. Very painful. And this can be a solution for it, this stretch. All right, press your hands into the floor, walk yourself up. This is the next pose that we're going to use a block or a pillow for. Swing your right leg around. And again, if any of these don't work for you, just go back to the last two. You're going to get the same stretch, and you're going to get in deeper each set, or if you want to call it a set, kind of like lifting, you'll go deeper. Okay, so we're going to stack our legs and ankles. So you want ankle over knee, ankle over knee. Other way around, you get me? And then if there's a big gap in between your legs, this is where you're gonna place the pillow. Right in here, and then you wanna put your hands on either side and lift yourself up. Pull your belly in strong. You should feel that right on your right side, on your sitting bone area. You're gonna get your glutes, a little bit of where the hamstring attaches. Now, if you don't have your block and you're flat down and it doesn't even feel like a stretch to you, you want to make sure that your bottom leg is pulled out, and that it's, a lot of times it will be in like this and people won't feel a stretch. So you pull your leg out closer to the front of your mat. And then flex both your feet, protects your knees, and your hands are on either side. And if this still isn't enough for you, that's when you can begin to fold forward. That's not where I belong today, but if you do, fold forward. If not, just stay here. Belly, notice if you're leaning forward too. You want to be a nice straight torso, like coming right out of your hips and standing straight up. All right, to get out, just lean back and put your feet on the earth and windshield wiper your legs. And now we'll do the opposite side. So right leg comes forward, left leg goes straight back. Pull your heel in towards your groin. Look back, make sure your leg is nice and straight, including all the way to your toes. Hands come on either side of you, push the floor away. Belly is strong, and then find that balance between the two sides. Make sure you're not dumping into the right. So nice and straight. Check that your neck is nice and loose. You're drawing down and up with the crown of your head at the same time, finding length. Then find that little back bend in your upper back, and then begin to walk your hands forward. Straight back. Find where it's comfortable. Activate that left leg. Point your toes, which engages your quads. Lift your quad right off the mat. And then, keep breathing, and you can adjust. It doesn't mean where you stop now is the end all. Maybe rolling to the right, find center. And then press into the earth, walk yourself back up. Left leg comes around and stack your legs. Ankle over knee, flex your feet, and then find your prop. You might find one side is better than the other, not better, excuse me, more flexible than the other. Again, you would love to be symmetrical on both sides. It's kind of what's so beautiful about stretching. You can see the difference from side to side and notice how your body's compensating. So use your pillow or block. And then again, make sure your leg is out and forward so it's stacking even. And then, are you leaning forward? I know I am, that's why I keep giving the cue. So I lean back, pull my abs in tight. And then if you'd like a little bit more, you can begin to fold forward, nice flat back. That's not happening for me today. And to release, just lean back, release your feet to the earth, and windshield wiper back and forth. All right, our last stretch today will be on our backs. So go ahead and lay back down and cross your right leg over your left leg. You can do eagle legs if you know what that is, or you can just cross like this. So eagle legs, you're gonna wrap all the way around and get your toes to wrap to the bottom of your calf. All right, so we got our wrap and we're gonna bring our arms out to a T, walk your hips over to the right, drop your legs to the left. You can gaze over your right fingertips. You'll feel that stretch up in here as well, but you should also get that nice twist into your hips and legs. Come back to center. Unwrap your right leg. Square off into the center and cross your left leg over right. You can eagle twist or just cross over. Bring your arms out to a T. Slide your hips over to the left. Drop your knees over to the right. And look over to the left. And slowly bring your head back to center, your knees, release, pull your knees into your chest, and that's that. You have done your hip exercises or stretches for today. If you really enjoyed the last ones, they really go well together. So you could do 1, 2, and 3, building up to the whole full body stretch. Whatever, even a little bit helps so much. I hope you're enjoying your day, and again, drop us a line. Tell us how you're doing. We miss you. Aloha.